is actually part of Trump's legal team, and she'll talk a little bit more about that. And she works with the Arkansas Supreme Court for the last 1 or 2 years. And what Jennifer is running for, she is going to be running for a position for our, I guess, yeah, second district chair. I was blanking on that. So second district chair. So the way our party's organized, we have our county, we have our districts, and then we have our state committee. So if you signed up to be a district member, during that, you'll have an opportunity to vote for Jennifer. And so that will be coming up, I believe, in March, is what is anticipated. And so she will be running for the chairman position over 2nd District. So Jennifer, take it away.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Being reelected, obviously you're doing a wonderful job. I'm sorry, I'll stay away from the speaker. Well, as you all know, and as our governor has said, it's a new day in Arkansas. Things are exciting, and things are changing, and the Republican Party is changing. The leadership should change to reflect the party and our values, and that is why I'm running. As your chairman, I will be focused on you, the people. I won't be focused on any elected officials or congressmen. I'm going to be focused on you, because that's what you deserve, and that is the 2nd District Chair. Some of the goals that I have that I want to implement as your chair, I promise to be transparent. I promise to be accessible. I'm actually going to give you my cell phone number right now. 501-786-4117. You can call or text me anytime. I keep my phone on silent. It's always on me, but I keep it on silent. So feel free to call or text anytime. But there are some things that I'd really like to implement. I am working with a conservative-owned website design company because what I'm hoping to do is get a deal. I'm actually on my way to doing that. Get a deal so that our county committees can either create their own website or update their current website. We're going to work on having algorithms such that anytime someone's doing a search for Republican organizations in your county, your website will start popping up. Or I also want to have some training for social media so we can start getting the word out and we can draw in more Republicans into our county committees, because people are inspired. They want to be involved and they want to have a say. And we together can give them the tools and equip them to do that. Another thing that I'd really like to do is, as a 2nd District, we're going to come together and we're going to start having a voice, a very loud voice, on some very important issues. When I'm elected in March, I'd really like to see a resolution proposed by the 2nd District wherein we will close the primaries. I'd also like to see a resolution where we're going to return to paper ballots and get rid of the machines. Is very important to me, so you all should know that. My husband is the attorney that filed the lawsuit against the Secretary of State. I assisted him with that. So he filed the lawsuit against the Secretary of State to determine that our current machines violate Arkansas law. And I'll be happy to discuss that in depth with anyone after this meeting. But we have the opportunity to have a voice on these issues and to let the state know where we stand. Okay, can everyone hear me better? Sorry about that. So needless to say, my plan is to bring us all together and to start letting the state committee know where the 2nd District stands on these very important issues. While, as I said, it is an exciting time here in Arkansas. And there's a lot that we can do, and we should be praising God for the change and the direction that we're headed. But make no mistake, we're still at war. We're still in a spiritual war. In Ephesians, we read that we don't war against flesh and blood. We war against evil principalities and the dark spirits of the world. So don't forget that, because the war is not over. It is actually time for us to start saying boldly and unequivocally that we are not going to surrender our freedoms and that we are not going to give up our God-given freedoms. And one of my favorite definitions for freedom was by George Orwell, and he said, freedom is the right to say no. And so, as your chair together, we're going to start saying no to a lot of things. the LGBTQ agenda. Not endorsed or exposed to any of that. We're not going to be silent. We are constantly being yelled at and screamed at to be silent. And we're called names. We're not going to be silent. The 2nd District will not be silent. So I want to also leave you with this. Alexis de Tocqueville said that it wasn't until he walked into the American churches that he realized, when he saw the pulpits aflame with righteousness, then he realized the greatness and the boldness of America, the genius of America. He said, America is good. And if America ever ceases to be good, she will cease to be great. We're struggling. I would venture to say we are not very good. And it shows. I think there's a direct correlation between turning our back on God's principles and losing our freedoms. So I want to encourage you to pray for revival, because there's a lot we can do. We can have the meetings, we can pass the laws. But until America becomes good again, and until we turn our eyes back to Jesus Christ, that only then will we become the great America that we once were.